The true identity of Roronoa Zoro is a really big topic of discussion among the One Piece fandom, and in the last 10 chapters or so, this discussion has really explored a lot of different territories, including his Wano connection and the potential of him actually being a Shimotsuki. We have already discussed a lot about his Wano connections and how he might be a potential Shimotsuki, but instead I'm going to talk about something different here in this video. So hello and welcome to UnderYZ, and thank you so much for joining in. In this video, let's talk about Zoro and why I feel like he might become a potential mysterious figure who has been around as a shadow for a really long time. I know this sounds really crazy and wacky, but just hold on for a bit, watch the video till the very end, and I promise I'm not going to make this video a 20-minute long video. This is just a crazy theory which I had and I just wanted to share with you all very quickly, and I want to know your opinion about this as well. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. So the main aspect of this theory involves the connection with Joy Boy. We already know that Joy Boy was a legendary and historical figure who lived maybe 800 years ago, who made a very special promise to the merfolk, including the Noah and a lot of other shenanigans, but unfortunately due to some reasons it never came to fruition. It is still an unfulfilled promise, and according to the lore of One Piece, including what we heard from Kaido as well, Joy Boy is sort of reincarnated. I mean, it's still not exactly clear if this is a theory about reincarnation or maybe this is a theory about destiny, and maybe if anyone can actually become Joy Boy if he or she actually fulfills that particular promise to the merfolk. Luffy is potentially going to become the Joy Boy's reincarnation or actually inherit the will of Joy Boy in a way. It's still not 100% clear. We still have many doubts about this particular thing, if this is a true case of reincarnation or not, or if it's just Luffy inheriting the will and destiny of Joy Boy, because Kaido explicitly states in a particular chapter that even you could not become Joy Boy. So thereby implying that there have been people in the past who tried to become Joy Boy or who wanted to walk along the path of Joy Boy, and basically there's a lot of mystery surrounding this as well. And the theory here is also that maybe Gold D. Roger himself was a potential candidate for Joy Boy, but things didn't really work out for him, and that is the greatest tragedy of his life, because his timing was wrong. Even Roger and Rayleigh said that maybe they have arrived sometime soon, like this is not the correct time, this is not their time. A lot of the factors had not connected at that particular moment. At that moment, Shirahoshi was not born, Poseidon was not there, the plans for Pluton was properly not inherited, and maybe even Uranus was not properly available. So a lot of the key figures, a lot of the key constituents for Joy Boy to actually take the throne was not present at that particular moment. Roger discovered the truth about it, but unfortunately he was not able to implement upon it. But this time around, maybe Luffy will be finally able to do all of these things because the timing is right. Of course, I'm not saying that this discredits anything that Luffy has done up until this moment. He has done a lot of hard work, but destiny and will really plays a lot in the theory of One Piece as well. So there's that. And combining all of these things together is my theory about Zoro. I know that I've been rambling for a while now, but just hear me out on this one. What if Zoro's true identity is also in a way linked to the identity of Joy Boy? What if along with the merfolk, Joy Boy also made a promise to a Wano swordsman or a swordsman in general, and that promise was unfulfilled for 800 long years, and from time to time a specific swordsman, potentially a Wano swordsman, is reincarnated or born, which takes up the mantle of that particular friend of Joy Boy. It happened with Ryuma, it happened with Shimotsuki Ushimaru, and maybe someone else in the past as well, and now in this particular timeline, this is happening with Zoro. Zoro is the potential reincarnation of the friend which Joy Boy actually had. I know that this is a very wacky theory, this is a very far-fetched theory, and at a first glance you might say that this is something which really doesn't align well with the story of One Piece. But if we factor in the shenanigans that we have seen so far involving Toki's Time Devil Fruit, then I think it really makes a lot of sense. There are already the themes of will, destiny, and to some extent reincarnation as well. So why not? Why not make Zoro a figure like that? What if Zoro is also actually sort of a reincarnation of a mythical figure who appears from time to time? And at that particular moment when Roger went to Laugh Tale, a figure, a friend of Joy Boy was not available at that particular time frame. So that's one of the major reasons why Roger was not able to fulfill the promise. What if this person, this figure, is essentially a key to Joy Boy's prophecy finally coming true? And that's why maybe throughout the centuries, a couple of different people have taken up this mantle, but things were just not correctly in line or in place for them. Maybe when Ryuma was this reincarnation, there was not the Joy Boy equivalent. When maybe Ushimaru was the reincarnate, the correct Joy Boy was not available yet again. But this time around for Zoro, maybe he is there correctly for Luffy, and the promise of Joy Boy will finally be fulfilled this time around. And that would make a lot of sense for one particular reason as to why Zoro looks so similar to Ryuma and even Ushimaru, that is Shimotsuki Ushimaru. I know that the theory of him actually being a Shimotsuki, a direct descendant of that family, and maybe potentially the son or maybe the nephew of Ushimaru makes a lot of sense. But this is a separate theory, a little different kind of a theory which I wanted to discuss with you all. And I know that the immediate reaction from you guys would be that, okay, this is going too much along the lines of Naruto, along with the Indra and Ashura Otsutsuki reincarnate theories. But hear me out on this one. I think that this really makes a lot of sense for a series like One Piece. I mean, after seeing the dinosaur forms for the Tobiropo, I'm really trying to keep my mind open. I'm all in for wacky and weird theories because Oda can implement a lot of different stuff here, and I think that this would be a really good twist as well. What if Zoro is also sort of like the reincarnation or a person who is taking up the will of this legendary figure who was supposed to be the friend of the original Joy Boy? That would make a lot of sense, and that is maybe also another major reason why there was no revolt against the world government for 800 long years. Maybe just the timing was not correct and a lot of key figures, a lot of key constituencies were not aligning together. But this time around, everything is just making sense. It's all like a big jigsaw puzzle. Poseidon is there, Pluton is possibly there. I mean, of course, there's Frankie, and Uranus might also be lurking around somewhere. Maybe we'll get more hints about that when we reach upon Elbaf. But either way, this really makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And the final comment, which I'm pretty sure is going to come up here in the comment section, and I want to address that right out of the bat. No, it doesn't take away anything from Zoro. If anything, it would only make his character even better for me, because Zoro is not just a reincarnate. It's not that he's special because he would be a reincarnate. If anything, among the Straw Hats, he's the person who deserves the most amount of power. He's the one who has trained the most. Remember, even before joining the Straw Hats, he used to lose to Kuina, and he used to train day in and day out. In the latest chapters, we found out that he was given the swords by none other than Kozaburo, and he trained day in and day out. But even beyond that, even after that, he still lost to Kuina, and after Kuina's death, he swore that he's going to become the best swordsman in the world. If anything, that's the biggest highlight or the biggest clue for this particular theory in my opinion. But either way, this is just a quick video which I wanted to have with you guys. What do you all think about this theory? Does it even make any sense, or am I just making random shit up? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know that this is not your regular day of the mill theory. It is a little out of the box, and it's not actually as simple and smooth as Zoro actually being a Shimotsuki all along, but I just wanted to explore something new. So anyway, that's it for today guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more. This is Wonder by Z, and I'll see you all on the next one. But in the meantime, do join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join the Discord server for more. See you all on the next one.